Welcome to the Buccaneers Observer. It's Ralph Phillips. Land ho, ye mateys. We are going to start off right off the bat. I ain't playing around today. We're going to watch some game film. First, I want to complain. What's up, Dino? Tom, what's going on, brother? Yeah, yesterday, man, I tell you what, I grew up in a medical family, and I got to see how the sausage was made. Not a big fan of the medical industry, but yesterday we had a doctor's appointment. We're having a home birth, so the doctor came here to the house. And it was originally scheduled for 4 p.m. They texted us at about 3 and said they were going to bump it to 4:45 p.m. And then at 5:15, they said they were leaving and on the way. And it's a 30-minute drive. So they didn't get here until 5:45. And then it was like 2-3 hours of stuff. So I was very frustrated. It's a thing that the medical community, we all know it. We've all done it. We've all been there. You go, you have a doctor's appointment, you go there, and you end up sitting for minimum half an hour, right? There's a reason why they do that. And then they did it at my house. They made me wait in my own house for an hour and a half. I was not a very happy camper. No, Dino, I actually had that written down. I put it on the chart. The name of the baby is Eden Rain. Eden as in Garden of Eden. Yes, I wrote your suggestion down for Misty. And here's what we did. We had 30 names on the list. And it's getting to be crunch time. So we're like, let's just go ahead and try and figure it out. What's up, Gotti? So what I did is I made a survey, and it was just like, I gave it to my daughter and my wife, and I took it. And it was like, the name would pop up, and it'd be like, do you like this name or not? And you choose yes or no, right? And I figured we'd narrow it down to about 10. Between the three of us. But between the three of us, there was only 3 common names that we all liked. And it was Eden, Rain, and Magnolia, I think. So I looked at the results, and I walked downstairs and I said, how about Eden Rain? And they went, sounds good. So Eden Rain. It fits with our motif of, nature-y, whatever. I don't know. We're hippies, I guess. Thank you. Yeah, I like it. I like the name, Eden. Baker. What's up, P. Cole? I know Baker. How long can Baker keep us afloat, man? How long? Because if you think about it, we won the first game due to Baker playing Superman ball. We won the second game in the last seconds because of Baker playing Superman ball. And we won the third game because of Baker playing Superman ball. Is he going to be able to keep that up? I mean, I'm fine if he does it all year long. I'd kind of like other people. I'd kind of like it not be that way. You know what I want? I want victory formation because I want to see Tej Johnson do a backflip or some funky gymnastics. We haven't had anybody do that in quite a while. I can't remember the guy's name. It wasn't Scotty Miller. Who was it that we had that did the victory formation backflips? Can't remember. But when you got one of those on your team, you put him in the victory formation. And we got a great one. So that's what I want to see. I want to see some victory formation. We're going to look at some game film here. I got through the first quarter. That's all I've been able to do. So I got some stuff to point out. Before I do that, let's talk about some news. Oh, did you see we re-signed Desmond Watson to the practice squad? Big boy is on the practice squad. Wouldn't it be? I think it would be great. And this would be almost genius level move for Todd Bowles if he does this. If he elevates him for the game and does it Saturday night, or whatever the latest they could do it, and then just plays him specifically against the tush push. Because we're going to see it, right? I mean, they do the tush push at least 3 times a game, right? And we tried out big old Desmond Watson and Vita Vea. There's no way they could. I mean, we've stopped them. I think we're the only team that stopped the tush push as many times as we have. But with Desmond Watson out there, man. And if Todd Bowles does that, I will be highly impressed. Highly impressed. If that's what that's what all this was about, I'd be like, ooh. That'd be some serious strategizing right there. Some strategery. Thank you, B. Cole. Yeah, I like it. What's up, Joe? Man, dude, I've got me and a cat. We are the only testosterone things in this house. My cat's he's pretty cool too. He is like pure boy. He is always getting into stuff. And then he's funny because you just can't offend him. Like he'll jump up, like up on the table, like chicken legs. He loves chicken legs. Like if we cook chicken legs, you have to lock him in a room because he will just attack you for chicken legs. But you can like smack him, shoo him out of the way, hit him with a shoe. It doesn't faze him at all. He'll just come right back. He's such a boy. He's like I've got an 18-year-old son. He doesn't live with me though, but my cat is like my surrogate son. It's not even my cat. It's my daughter's cat. But yeah, it's crazy being surrounded by this many girls. Although I grew up with 2 sisters. I had an older sister and a younger sister. So I was sandwiched between the estrogen, man. Okay. Let me look. I've got some stuff. Let's see. We talked about the Atlanta Falcons. Man, I tell you what, that fan base can't stand Raheem Morris, which is kind of weird because I really liked Raheem when he was our coach. I thought he was kind of cool, but he was a little too cool, I guess. But man, their fan base just can't stand him. But they fired their wide receivers coach, and they're making their offensive coordinator come down on the sideline. We talked about that last time. So, he's on the hot seat, I think. I think he's on the hot seat. When you get whooped by Carolina like that, that's crazy. That is crazy. Oh, speaking of the Falcons, Penix, I didn't know this. Michael Penix Jr. is 0-6. 0-6 in games where the opponent has scored 8 or more points. That is crazy. That is insane. I mean, if you score 8 points, you can beat the Falcons. That's wild. I thought Penix did pretty good. I found that interesting. Okay, what else we got? There's 3 teams who have 0 turnovers, and they're all 3-0. That's the Buccaneers, the Indianapolis Colts, and the Buffalo Bills. Man, the Colts, I did not see them coming out like this. I definitely didn't see Daniel Jones coming out like this. What is it with New York? What is it with New York? Are they just a really bad run organization? Are they like the Cleveland Browns or the Jacksonville Jaguars or the Panthers? I thought they did Eli Manning really, really wrong. I got so mad about that, because he had the longest active streak of, he never missed a game. Eli Manning never missed a game in his entire career. And they benched him just out of pure meanness. They benched him. First time he ever missed a game. I was pissed. It's like, are you serious? You like to see records broken. You know what I'm saying? And it was like when the Patriots, I wanted the Patriots to win that Super Bowl against the Giants just so that I could say I saw it. I was there, you know? Everybody likes to see records. Giants, man, I mean, were they so bad that Daniel Jones was this good and they just made him look bad? Is that what it was? All right, we all know Cody Mox placed on injured reserve. Tristan Wirfs and Godwin should be playing this week. Now, I with Godwin especially, I don't expect him to get a whole lot of snaps. You know, he's going to be on a limited snap count. You know, I'd be surprised if we saw more than 10 snaps with him. He's got to come in. And, with Wirfs, they might do the same thing. I just can't see them throwing him out there and expecting him to play 100% of the snaps without any football prep at all, I mean, he's practicing and getting some contact there, but games are totally different. You're looking at 4 hours of just strenuous activity. I don't know. Falcons winning division in the offseason and trash in week 3. Kate, happy birthday belatedly. We made a big deal Monday because it was your birthday. Tom got mad at me because I pinned the comment up top that said, happy birthday, Kate. You never even showed up. I was very upset. Tom was mad at me. He was like, why you always treat her more special than me? You didn't do that for my birthday. Oh, he said that Desmond Watson is not going to be elevated for this game. Now, that's just a shame. I mean, that's what Desmond Watson is built for, right? I mean, if he's going to do anything, he's going to stop the tush push. I got some testosterone, man. I've always wanted to get my testosterone tested just to see where I'm at. Devin Tompkins, who's going to take Mike Evans' spot? Do y'all think it's going to be Sterling Shepard, Godwin? What about Ryan Miller? I think Ryan Miller is going to step in. That's what I think. I mean, Shepard's a slot guy, right? And I don't think that, like I said, I think Godwin's going to be on a snap count, very limited snap count. I think Ryan Miller's going to get a lot of snaps in. I think he's going to be Mike Evans' replacement, basically. I'm drinking coffee because not only did I have to deal with the doctors all day yesterday, I was up till 3 this morning because baby didn't go to bed till midnight. And then, I have to read her a book and then she falls asleep with me. And then I have to get out and my oldest daughter is downstairs wanting me to hang out with her. And then she didn't fall asleep until 1:30. And so I didn't go to sleep until 3. And then I woke up at 8. Yeah, 8. Tired. And then our dishwasher broke. So I've spent all day working on the dishwasher, getting down on the floor, getting back up, getting down, probably 150 times. I'm tired, man. So I got my coffee tonight. I'm like, man, I need some help here. Tough stuff. So how was your birthday, Kate? Gotti, I was worried about Atlanta. I was. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. They've got the talent. Win the turnover battle, and we can beat the Eagles. I love your optimism, Kate. I love it. We need to get our score predictions in. I didn't keep track of them last week. Gotti, you gave me your score prediction yesterday, or Monday, and I didn't write it down, and I didn't go back and look at it. So can you give me again? Give it to me again. I'm thinking we're going to lose. I'm going to be negative here, and I'm going to say, uh, oh man, I'm going to say 17, 28-17. I just don't have a lot of confidence in this game. We whooped them last year, but they had like a lot of people were out. AJ Brown, like their whole wide receiving core was there, right? And now Mike Evans is going to be out on our side. And our special teams, man, we got to do something about our special teams. We have had, watching on this game film, our special teams is just bad. It's just bad. We have with every game this year we've had special teams problems. I can't really think of a good special teams play other than McLaughlin winning the all 5 field goals. He would have got 6, but that one got blocked. I saw we were talking about this, Tom. We were talking about this, and you pointed it out that he touched the defender that jumped over, touched the right guard. He landed on him. It looked to me like he kind of slid down his shin or the back of his calf with his foot. But he did touch him as he was coming down. But I didn't see anywhere in the rule books where you can't touch the guy. But when you leap over the line, you can't touch the lineman in order to get leverage. Is how I read it. So I don't know. There's a lot of back and forth with that one. I think we just have to chalk it up to nobody knows. It's just one of those weird rules that they could have very easily have thrown the flag, and then the other side would have been mad. To bring Wirfs and Godwin back for the Eagles. Do you think Wirfs is going to play the whole game at left tackle? Do you think they're going to keep him in 100%? Yeah, Kate, we are one of three teams that don't have any turnovers this year, and all 3 of those teams are 3-0. And that's the Bills, the Buccaneers, and the Colts. Where's Breedison, Barton, Klein, Heck? Is that our starting 5? What is going on with Michael Jordan? Yeah, that's a good question. Why did they put Klein in? I think, because you could only bring somebody up from the practice squad, I think 3 times. Again, I'm not very versed in the practice squad rules. But I think it's 3 times, and we've already brought him up twice. So we would have had to bring him up and put him on the active roster. That means we would have had to cut somebody. So I think they just went with letting Klein play. What's up, Matthew Rayburn? How's it going, brother? Oh, that's quite all right, Kate. You didn't have to be here for your birthday. I was just, in case you popped in, I wanted to make you feel, let you know we were thinking about you. What's up, Craig? Craig. Yeah, you're right, Gotti. Bowles is not above the line in the press conference. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. But I just don't understand. I mean, why? What's the deal with Desmond Watson? If you want to keep him, if you're not going to use him for the tush push, what are you going to use him for? Because, I mean, he's not, I can't see him being a pass rusher. I don't think we need any help with our run defense. I don't know. I don't get the fascination with him. You think Trevor Lawrence needs a good coach? What do you think about Liam over there? You think he's doing okay with Trevor? Ryan Miller, secret weapon. Kate Otten coming out. Yeah, remember last year? Gosh, he had a couple games where he just blew up when Evans was out, right? Evans and Godwin were both out, and Kate Otten had like 10 catches or something. Desmond Watson sized cup of coffee. I drink 1.5 of these every morning. It's a leftover from my coffee shop. I got a whole bunch of these. They're great coffee mugs. Hey, no problem, Kate. We love you around here. That's a good one, Joe. Look at Joe. It's nice. Kate can be anywhere in the world, and she is right here with us. Who's going to have a break? The Rams are doing it, and I think we're at least as good as the Rams. We can stop the run, and Hurts can't handle the defense. The Rams don't have any corners. I haven't really paid much attention to them. I know they're doing good, though. They did last year, man. They just came out of nowhere. The Rams did, and like went into the playoffs pretty rough. I mean, they did back into the playoffs. They earned their way in there. Be called 35-28 Bucs. Wow. All right. I need y'all to be positive with this because I'm hoping I'm wrong. Gotti, did you give me your score again? Dino, 49-35. Woo! Woo! Now that I love. Wouldn't that be something, man? You know, if we beat the Eagles, everybody's going to be talking about us as serious, legit contenders. Kate, 1917, Bucs. It's going to be a defensive game. Oh. How about that Monday night game? That was a good one, right? I know, Tom. We're 4-1 versus the Eagles in the last 5 games. That can't hold for long, can it? we have had a back and forth with them for 30 years, man. Hassan Reddick, time to shine. Boy, I wish he would. I really wish he would. If we don't turn the ball over, we're capable of beating anybody. This is true, and it's nice when we get turnovers. Like that pick 6 by Dean. That was pretty. That helped us a lot in that game. Yeah, when our schedule gets easier to close out the season, I mean, we've got like 5 games. Yeah, the last 5 games are going to be so easy because I think at that point, Atlanta will probably have a different coach. Panthers will probably have a different coach. They'll have interim coaches. Yeah, and you know, I don't think the Cardinals are all that great, to be honest with you, but I'm not going to count them in. That could, if you count them as an easy win, that's 6 games. But yeah, the last 5 games for us is when we get to play Miami. Where's that at? That's at Miami too. Yeah, boy. Yeah, this offensive coordinator, I wouldn't say I don't like what he's doing, but he's just not as pizzazzy as Liam was. That's for sure. That's for sure. But I tell you what, he's got this offensive line run game is just it's fun to watch. Craig, I'm gonna show you something. You're talking about if the edge rush would get home. I'm gonna show you a couple plays here in a second, and it's probably gonna make you mad. Yeah, I expect us to lose too, Joe. If we can keep it low scoring, turnovers can make it. That'd be the difference in the game. Yeah, we embarrassed them last year. Yeah, and they won the Super Bowl. Who, yeah, Joe, it really depends on if Wirfs is going to play, you know, left tackle 100%. I, Barton did a good job against the Jets. He did a good job against the Falcons. He did a great job against Falcons. He didn't do such a good job against the Texans though. And the Eagles are a whole different animal. I would prefer to have Wirfs out there. I mean, he is the better tackle. But is he game ready? I can't see it. I just don't see how he would be. What's up, Lawrence? You finally made it, brother. Oh, Michael Jordan is hurt? I didn't know that. Oh, use Watson as a postseason tush push. There you go. You share a birthday with Kate, Craig? Are you serious? Are you serious or are you just I didn't know it was your birthday, Craig. Now that would be genius too, Beagle and Joe. If that's what we're doing, we're getting Watson for that the postseason tush push. Crazier things that happen. Rampage, what's up, brother? Rampage is going with 28-23. Eagles. I picked the Eagles too. It's me and you so far. I went 28-17. I'm hoping we're wrong. Rampage, I think you've picked against the Bucs every week, haven't you? Tom just mad. I show anybody attention. Heather, hey. Oh, thank you, Heather. Oh, y'all, uh, I gotta show y'all this book Heather got us. Or I say us because I think I'm pregnant too. She got Molly a book that was just hilarious. 35-21 bucks. Man, your your wife has got more faith in your team than you do, Rampage. You think it's going to be a high score? Bucks are going to win by a field goal. I know, right, Matthew? How come we haven't hit 30 points yet? I have predicted us to hit 30 points every week, and we haven't done it. I would really love to see it in this game. Yeah, see the offense start to click. I want to see our run game click, man, because it's there. It's there. I mean, these guys when it hits, it's going to hit. This gap running scheme we're doing is really I enjoy it. I enjoy watching it. Yeah, throw Sean Tucker in there too. Did you give me your score, Gotti? Again? I mean, I could go back and look at the Eagles fans really hate us, do they? Good. Buck's been playing saving plays for the Eagles game. Yaya got got glazed for the last game by PFF. Well, Tom, what do you think about Liam Cohen with Trevor Lawrence? You don't think he's doing a good job with him? Right. Yeah. Yeah. Considering that, Tom, I mean, this O line, this offensive coordinator, our new offensive coordinator, has had to deal with a busted up O line all season. Yeah, I think he's doing a pretty good job. I really liked Liam's pizzazz. He had some good stuff. We haven't seen that out of this team yet. Oh, Craig, I got to go back and rewatch. I didn't know, Craig. I feel bad. All right, everybody's this is good. Everybody's getting their scores in. We got to watch some game film. Y'all gonna have me on here running my mouth. Like I said, I got the first quarter. I could just run through and show y'all some plays that I got from that, and then we could just start watching. She hasn't she hasn't seen the abyss of pessimism. Yeah. Hey, yeah, I'm lucky. Molly was there for the decade of dread, so she's appreciative of what she has now. Okay, okay. So they haven't announced that he's injured. May or may not run a computer report. That's your source. AI told you he has a knee injury. Huh. That's funny because he is the one that, and he might have heard it when he hit Cody Mock. Him and Cody Mock collided knees, and that's when Cody Mock got his knee all messed up. So Michael Jordan might have been hurt on that same play. How good is Baker at Tom Brady like locker room speeches? That's a good question. Was Tom Brady good at locker room speeches? I don't know if I ever saw him give a locker room speech. They've been on my list. Kate says they're doing really good, so they've been on my list to watch the Jags, but I haven't watched a full game with them yet. I need to put everybody's score up on the big board, don't I? Okay, we made it through the first series. Um, of the Eagles, and it was surprising to me at how bad Tyrod Taylor played in that first series. I mean, I it was pretty bad. He was making bad decisions. He was running with the ball like he was being chased when he wasn't. All right. I got a marker down in the wrong spot, which sucks because that was a good play. I did not know that, Kate. Yeah. Okay, let me see. All right. Why? One second. Okay. Here we go. I have no idea why this is marked. Probably because. Oh, yeah. Okay. You can see here. Now, I know I wrote this down. I don't know why it's not showing up. Yeah, our special teams, man, we need a lot of work, a lot of work, a lot of work. And I don't know. I don't know what the deal is, why they're so bad. And it's really, gosh, it's really everything. I mean, they're not blocking well. They're not tackling well. They're not being heads up, paying attention to what's going on. Their system is just kind of very basic. I don't know what they're doing on special teams practice, man. But anyhow, here we go. This is, you can see everybody gets blowed up here. Guys are just, see how these two right here are just completely free. That's because this one guy just blows him up. I'm not sure who that is. O'Keefe or Bullock or Ryan Miller. Those three seem to be really bad on special teams. We'll look at it from another angle. But right here, he just tosses him. Literally just throws him into this pile. Oh, here he is. And then he just comes out and makes the tackle. This guy, of course, he gets off the tackle here. I can't give this guy too much guff because he don't know where the runner's at. We'll look at it from the end zone angle here, and you'll see, I think it's this guy. No, wrong guy. It's this one here. Yeah. Yeah, see, look, he just gets thrown all the way into that pile right here. Yeah, just thrown, and he's just free. And as a runner, what can you do? Yeah. And we got so many guys like this, just kind of standing here, It's like chasing their blockers, or the guy they're supposed to block. Yep, that's a good point, B. Cole. That's a 100% good point. We got so many injuries that these guys that are playing special teams are not, they haven't practiced a lot because they're new or brought up from the practice squad or whatever. But O'Keefe, he's on the special teams a lot. He's been playing really bad on special teams. Oh, he's out, by the way, out for the season, broken leg. Which Baker Mayfield was kind of upset about it because he was like, O'Keefe is, he brings that fire. He's a feisty little dude and all that good stuff. Okay. All right. My notes keep disappearing. Okay. Okay, Klein gets beat by 95 right here. 95 does get called for a face mask. I guess it's right here. It looks like 96, but yeah, he just kind of gets tossed to the side there. But then he grabs him, got him by the face mask. You can see that all day long. He does get penalized for that. But Klein just, he's not looking too good. The Jets defense was pretty tough right up the middle, man. Okay, this is a nice run after the catch. Breedis and Klein get beat by 95 for a quarterback hit. So they try to double team him this time. And he just gets through him and clobbers our quarterback. But Baker is able to get the ball off. So he's not looking. He's looking over here, got an arm out. It looks like he passed him off, expecting him to do it. There's one thing else I noticed too. they were tripping over each other a lot, and Haggard has got an extremely wide stance. You can't do that as a guard. I don't know, did he play tackle in college or something? But anyhow, you can see 95 just breaks right on through. And then boom, gets a hit on Baker. But this is a nice run here. Zip. Look at that. Whoa. All three of these guys just get juked out. That's sweet. Just whoop. And then he just goes. That's a beautiful run, man. That's all Bucky, too. Just sweet. That's going to be so exciting when that run game starts clicking, man. Okay, here's an instance of Bredesen steps on Klein's foot, and right here he steps on Klein's foot. And it's just little things like this. You can tell these guys haven't played together. They don't know their spacing and all that good stuff. He steps on his foot and it slips. Whoop! Look at that. Whoop! And it falls down. Ends up blocking nobody. You know, what can you do? You see Cade Otton's on the ground over here, cut blocks. That's kind of strange from Cade. I don't know if they're teaching them to do that. Now, Payne has been doing it. He's been doing it for a couple years. Otton doesn't do it as much, but you see he does it right here. So I'm wondering if that's not something the tight end coaches is telling them to do. I'm not a fan of it, you know that, but hey, whatever's effective, I don't care. All right, here's another one where the offensive line, you could tell they're just not used to each other's spacing. Haggard, he's just got such a wide stance to be a guard, you know. Anyhow, he's going backwards. Right, so here he is. Here is Bredesen's leg. He gets caught up on it. You can see it right there. Boom. And then 91 just steamrolls him. Boom. But he ends up taking 91 down with him, and they throw a flag on it, which I thought was kind of bullshit, or excuse me, kind of BS. I went back and looked at it on the broadcast version because I couldn't really see it here. And he doesn't really, I couldn't see where he grabs him. So I don't know what the refs saw. I think they just saw him go down. 91 just go down, and they just thought that Haggard grabbed him. Don't know. So the bad pass by Baker. He threw a couple of bad passes, off-target passes in this game. He made some rough decisions in this first quarter here, and then he had some open receivers he missed too. Craig, here's one for you that I was talking about. This one's probably going to make you mad. Let me catch up with chat real quick. That's crazy about Michael Jordan. I didn't know that, Kate. It's one of the things that I was ranting and raving about. You know, we're running this gap offense, and the line's looking like they're doing really good. Because one of the big issues with it normally is linemen running into each other. You know, because they're big dudes and they're, you know, having to do these pulls and twists and all this good stuff. And a lot of times they'll just run into each other. And I hadn't seen it happening, so I was kind of impressed with that. And then Bredesen and Mock ran into each other. Mock ended up collapsing on that play. But, Michael Jordan hit Mock in the knee. They both their knees hit because Michael Jordan was pulling and running down the line. And it's really the first collision I've seen between linemen, which was quite impressive. But apparently Michael Jordan's got a problem with that, huh? What was Michael Jordan's vertical leap? I like the uniforms, Joe. I liked them. Can make an orange and white helmet with our normal logo? That'd be cool. That'd be cool. I have seen some cool alternative uniforms. I didn't know this, but we haven't worn the white creamsicle since the first year where we went 0-14. This is the first time we worn it, and we broke the thing. I didn't know that. I thought that was pretty cool. First time we've ever won in those uniforms. Oh man, tell you what, Lawrence, I was so mad about Liam. He went out to get the milk, never came back. Not only that, he went out to get the milk, called us and said he was on his way home, and they just never showed up. We need alimony and child support. I know, right? Oh, I was so mad about him. Oh, I don't know who I'm more mad at, him or Dave Canales for going to the Panthers. I mean, you just don't go to a division rival. I don't think there's any way to piss off a fan base quicker than doing that. So I got to be. I'm more angry at Dave, I think. Liam did do us wrong though. He cheated on us. We got the kids though, so you're right. We need that child support. I did not see that we signed it. Caden pre-scored from Ole Miss. I know you like that. Oh, Ali Marpet and Ryan Jensen they were sitting in the same booth. And somebody asked Ryan Jensen on Twitter, asked him if he could come back and play for us, and he said, "No, I'm out here yelling at elk." And he only weighs 250 or something like that. He's lost a lot of weight. Ali Marpet lost a lot of weight like immediately. Like 2 months after he was out, I saw a picture of him. He was all slimmed down, almost looked like a normal human being. He played tackle. I didn't know that. Yeah, he's got a wide stance for a guard. A little too wide. I loved uniforms. I sure do, Craig. 100%. 100% need that Hardy Nickerson cream sickle jersey. Okay, here you go, Craig. This was for you. You're talking about the outside pressure, right? Okay. Boom. Play action. Got a guy blazing in. This just infuriates me with this team, and we've seen this ever since Todd Bowles has been a defensive coordinator. You got a guy screaming in, untouched, screaming. We've got how many guys? We've got 1, 2, 3. We got 5 guys covering 2. He's getting hit, Craig. He's getting hit. He's getting pulled down. He just basically lobs it up. I mean, that's not on a rope. That's got a heavy arc on it. And look. There's 5 guys out here. There's 5 guys. And the quarterback's getting hit. He's falling down. He tosses the ball up. This should have been an interception all day long. Look how long it took to get there. And then look, he has to jump to catch this. Come on, man. I get so mad about this. Y'all have heard me say it for years. It's like, if I was a defensive lineman, I would be so mad at the secondary. I mean, how do you not? I mean, you got 5 guys back there covering 2. I mean, okay, the secondary has got to know that there's a blitz going on, right? I mean, don't they call the plays? Everybody hears what's going to happen. So Your job is to cover your guy for 2 or 3 seconds, maybe. Don't do this soft coverage where you're off 10 yards. I mean, look at this. There's a blitz coming. What do you and I get so mad about this. What are you doing back here? I mean, I could understand if there was another guy coming, running a corner or something, or maybe even a post or anything. If there was another guy, kind of invading, or maybe even a wheel coming up or something, then yeah, you kind of got to split the points. But there's only one dude. There's absolutely no reason whatsoever for you to be this far away. Knowing there's a blitz. Even if there wasn't a blitz, there's no need to be that far away. He's literally 5 yards away. And then you still can't get over. Just, oh my gosh, that's so infuriating. And they do this all the time. All the time. Like last year, I was so mad about last year. Who was it that came in on that blitz too? Because we got good pressure last year. When Cansey came back, we were getting good pressure. Cansey and Yaya and Vita, and those guys were getting good pressure. But man, it's like the quarterback would literally just toss it up and one of their receivers would come down with it. Okay, who is it that comes in? Is that Servassier? Yeah, he comes in untouched. I will say this. The Jets are not a very good team. They just don't block him at all. And look, Vita coming too, man. He's got his guy all bent up. Boom, look at this. How? Oh my gosh. And you got Vita in front. You got Vita. That secondary should be embarrassed. I'm embarrassed for him. That was Zion. I don't think Zion had a good game. Yeah, see, that wasn't Yaya. That was Servassier. Where was Yaya on that play? Was he even out there? No, I bet he went to the inside. There he is right there, right? Or is that Servassier? No, oh no, he's in coverage, of course, right? Yeah, because that's what you do with your pass rushers. And look at Levante. Oh, wait a minute. Is this that same play? Because, no, it's a different play. That's the next play we're going to go over. Yeah, okay, so I bet Yaya goes inside, and then Servassier goes out. Yeah, he just crashes down. The blitz, it did exactly what it was supposed to do, the blitz. But, gosh, I don't get it. It's infuriating to me. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, on this play, Hassan Riddick is totally lost. He doesn't know what's going on. I don't know if this is a product of Levante David's communication issues or whatever, but you can see here's Levante. He's yelling. He's giving directions, right? And then he's yelling at Riddick right here. He's telling him to get out. You're supposed to go in coverage, right? They're trying to figure out. He don't know what's going on. He's holding his arms out like, I don't know. And then you can see Levante yelling at Riddick, telling him to back up. Well, Riddick turns around and he looks over here and he's looking, am I supposed to go over here and cover? He has no idea what he's supposed to do. And look, he's walking over talking, saying something, you know, and this guy's saying something. Uh, they're shifting. They're all confused. Look, he's saying stay. He's saying freeze. So he freezes. But look, he's looking over here when the ball is snapped. He has no idea what's going on. Look, he's still standing here. Play's happening. Look, right now he's moving. And this is a big run. And then watch Levante. Here's Levante. He immediately turns around and starts yelling at somebody. I can't tell who he's. Is it? I think that's Vita. He's yelling at somebody. He's like, "Why weren't you over there? You were not in the right place." But anyhow, we were just nobody knew what was going on here. They caught us. We were totally unprepared. If you look, it was only a 3-man front. Look, here's Levante yelling, saying, "Get over there! Get over there!" And then, they do a pretty good job, I thought. Servassier comes in, closes this gap. That's a huge gap, though. This is a huge gap. Levante, he's not really in position when the ball's snapped, and then boom, off to the races. Yeah, that was a miscommunication issue there. Which, again, it's like, I don't understand why Bowles has Levante calling plays. I really don't. He doesn't like doing it. I don't like him doing it. This is a good one. Vita just tosses his guy. Gaines goes down immediately on this play. I don't know what happens right here. He just goes. I don't know if this guy just grabs him on the back and jumps on him here or what. But he just immediately goes down on his knees right here. Can't have that. Runner runs that away. Here's Vita with his guy. And Vita does. He gets aggravated when guys like hang on him too long, and he just tosses him. He just tosses this dude. Oh, that's the Vita I know and love right there. He's just like, look, I ain't your dancing partner. Get off, man. Just woof. That's why I love. That's why I love football right there. Oh, man, you watch that crap all day long. Hey, here's another Yaya Diaby getting pressure right here. I bet he goes inside. Let me see. Yep. Man, I would love to know. Somebody needs to ask Bowles. Oh, 76 just slides and falls down. Sometimes we have an issue with our turf, and there was a lot of sliding in this game. Originally, when I looked at this, I thought he tried to trip Yaya coming in, but I don't think he did. I think his foot slid. And then again, look at this. Look, you get pressure. Let's go look at the sideline angle here. You get pressure, and Dean is, he's playing tight here. He's not playing super soft. He just gets beat. Guy just stops. Dean goes past him, slides right here. He slides. Dude's getting pressured. So I'm just going to throw it. And look, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 defenders on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They just shouldn't be winning these. That's man coverage too. This is all on Dean right there. But of course, I think they go back to that play. Dean gets that pick six. I don't know. I don't know if it was an out or a comeback, but Yaya's coming, man. So is Riddick. How does Riddick beat his dude? Yeah, it's wide. That's a wide path. Woo. Yeah, I think that was a design stunt, Rampage. I really want to know though, because Yaya goes inside so much. He started doing that last year, and how much of it is them, the coaches telling him to do that, and how much of it is they're giving him leeway to do what he wants to do. Because I mean, he does it all the time, and a lot of times in very inappropriate situations, just leaves the edge completely wide open. Riddick does it too. He just happened to he just happened to look back, Lawrence, on that interception. Dennis is learning angles from Yaya. None of them are good at trigonometry. Rampage, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's mystified me for years. I don't know what Todd Bowles is teaching them. Because how many times have we seen this? They blitz, they get pressure, and then there's a wide open goddamn field. Quarterback just throws it up. It's not even a good throw. I mean, that one wasn't a good throw. He's 7% better than Britt was. uh, uh, Rampage, I think, well, he talked about it on a podcast, and he's never called plays before until last year, and he was like, he likes to, as soon as one play ends, he likes to watch the offense, see who's coming out, see how they're lined up, who's talking to who, and he gets a feel for the offense, and then he plays according to that. But when he's calling plays, he can't watch the offense. That's what he said. He says he's got to be worried about what everybody else on defense is doing. So he's paying attention to everybody else, and he can't see what's going on with the offense, and he doesn't like that. I was like, well, that makes sense. But also, and I kind of hate to say this because I really like Levante David. He has a speech issue. It's only been here recently that he's spoken a lot more. When he was first on the team for, gosh, man, probably the first 10 years, he never talked. He was just not a talker. And then when he did talk, you go, oh, okay, he's got I don't think it's a lisp, but it's some type of issue. And I think it's difficult. And I don't think he's a loud guy either. So, it just makes it difficult. Good question for Jenna Lane. She could turn it into a book, a paragraph question. Now, I know with JPP, they gave him freedom to do whatever he wanted, but that's because it was JPP. Same thing with the Domikong Sue. Sue was basically allowed to just do what he wanted. Vita, not. Vita is just about every play is told what to do. And they did that with Shaq Barrett too. They really manipulated Shaq Barrett, didn't let him run free like they did JPP. JPP was just, he's just a different beast. You couldn't tell him what to do anyhow. I think they just decided they weren't even going to try. What's up, Steven? Who was that on the stunt with Yaya? Let me see. Is that V? Oh, he's getting held though, ain't he? That is 90. Oh, man, I tell you what, I love these uniforms, but it's hard to read those numbers, especially when the light shines on them. 90. That's going to be either Uh, that's not a 2. He looks too big to be Anthony Nelson. It looks like an 8, but that does not look like Anthony Nelson. It might be Greg Gaines. I can't tell. Yeah, he was held there. I got to write that down. I didn't catch that. I'm glad you made me go back and look at that. Steven? Yeah, he's got him right here by the shoulder pad. Right there. That's a hold. That's the first uncalled penalty I've seen in this game. $23-17 Bucs. Final answer. You could change it as many times as you want. Final answer. What was that from? That was from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Your final answer. I got to get the score prediction banner going. Yeah. I'd like to think that too, Tom, but I don't know. I think Yaya, I think he's allowed some freedom. They don't. I don't think they dictate him every play, but I think he prefers to go inside. I think he's had success going inside, so he's just like doing it as often as he can. And I think the coaches think he's pretty good at it too. So Greg Gaines, yeah, I think that's Greg Gaines. 96, right? Not Logan Hall. Logan Hall is a little bit slimmer. Yes, Tyke Smith is full-time safety. All right, first quarter's over. This one here. Oh, man. Dang it. Okay. This is a boot. Here's Kokeef blocking. He's trying to hit Mike here. He throws this and it gets batted away. Dangerous throw. I didn't like it at all. And then I really didn't like it when I saw the all 22 because he didn't scope the field out. Because look, Payne Durham is wide open. And there's nobody within 10 yards of him. Instead, he tries to wedge it into Mike, and it wasn't really a good throw. It should have been downfield more. I don't know how he's trying to hit Mike here because it looks like he's trying to run an out, but he throws it like right here. It's not a very good throw. I understand he's on the run and all that good stuff. I would have preferred if they would have adjusted and gone this way, but not a good pass and not a good decision. But it was definitely bad that he did not see Payne Durham wide open. And he's had a few of these in this game. Baker did. He had a few last game too. It's going to be interesting because he's not going to have Mike Evans now. Sometimes I feel like he uses Mike Evans as a security blanket. I mean, who wouldn't? I would too. But He's missing stuff on the field by trying to get at the mic all the time. So that's as far as I got with. Oh, look, it's 8 o'clock. Huh. That was the first quarter. And my takeaway from the first quarter is the Jets were a lot worse than I thought they were. Their offensive line did not play well. They were out of sync, and I wanted to look it up. They didn't look like they played together before. Was their offensive line janky like ours? I should know that, but I don't. It appears that way. And if their offensive line was not hurt, then they've got some serious issues over there. Their defense, their secondary didn't play well at all. I mean, they left guys open all over the place. They had some busted coverages, quite a bit. But like I said, I'm only in the first quarter. And Tyrod Taylor played horrible. Just from so far from what I've seen. He seemed really scared. Payne Durham can't catch. Well, he definitely can't catch if you don't throw it to him. What's up, Ricky? Logan Hall is light melanin. Oh, I know. I felt the same way, Ricky. We've been talking about these cardiac games and stuff. And then Sunday, it started off, they scored. I was like, yeah, that's okay. And then, we started whooping them. Going into the fourth quarter, I was like, man, this is easy. It was just a nice, relaxing game. They can't let us relax, man. They can't do it. They can't do it. They want us all to die young. It is kind of fun, though. And we got to remember, this is all entertainment, and it's been entertaining. I almost feel like I'm watching the Jameis Winston years all over again. We can be up by 50, and it's still close at the end. Yeah. What's up, I Got Jokes? Yeah, I think it was Greg Gaines. I think it was. Whoever it was, he got held. So all those penalties they threw, flags, they missed that one. Is Garrett Green with us? I thought we got rid of him. Did not bring him back. Oh, he sure is. Huh. That's funny because did we just do that recently? Because I swear I looked it up 2 weeks ago and I was like, oh, he's nowhere. And he's on our practice squad. Well, that's good. I like that. I think Ryan Miller's going to get a lot of looks. I think him and Baker seem. What about Tej Johnson? We haven't really seen a whole lot from him at wide receiver. Do you reckon we'll see? We might see just a kind of a rotation at outside wide receiver. We've got Cameron Johnson, Ryan Miller, Tej Johnson. I don't think Sterling's going to be out there. I mean, he's just slot guy, really. Don't know. Yeah, they brought back the big guy. Georgie, what's up, man? I was thinking about that when they did it, we're getting ready to play the Eagles. I'm like, did we bring him back for the tush push? But then somebody said that Todd Bowles said that he's not going to play this week. I know he's on the practice squad, but then again, Todd Bowles could just be saying that. He could be our secret weapon. It's like I was saying, what use is Desmond Watson? I mean, seriously, if he's not in football shape, there's no way. And, he's not He's not going to be a pass rusher. It'd probably take him 5 seconds just to walk or, to run to get to the quarterback if nobody was in front of him. Run defense, we don't really need a guy for run defense. And Todd Bowles doesn't really like the big guys. So I'm like, the only thing we could get, because Todd Bowles has been really about this Desmond Watson. He's put in a lot of capital into that guy. And I'm like, I don't understand it. I don't know what's going on. But then it dawned on me, we got the Philadelphia game and we brought him back. I was like, are we getting him specifically to stop the tush push? Because we have stopped it before. I know at least twice. I think maybe 3 times. And what if he's gonna be our secret weapon? And then I think it was Kate was saying that we're gonna do it. We're gonna wait for the postseason to break him out for that. I was like, oh yeah. But that would be strategically genius, I think, if Todd Bowles, elevates Desmond Watson and puts him out there just for the tush push, man. I'd be like, man, that's good stuff right there. Um, yeah, I saw the guard run to the refs too. I couldn't really tell what he was saying or what he was motioning at and everything. I think he was complaining because they held him down. He couldn't see who was holding him down, and I think he thought that the guy that jumped over him held him down, but it was the other guy. Reached over and held him down. I thought it was a great play by the Jets. Their special teams had obviously practiced that quite a bit, and they did it, and it worked great. I'd like to see our special teams do some stuff like that. We just don't. I don't think we put a lot into our special teams. We never have, even when BA was coach. It was just special teams was just like a afterthought, kind of like how Bruce Arians was with the run game. He was like, yeah, I only run it because I have to. But I don't know, Tom. And I think if you asked 10 referees, you'd get 10 different answers on the question whether that was legal or not. Like I said, reading the rule book, I didn't see anything where you can't touch the offensive lineman. You can't touch them and use them as leverage. That's what the wording says. You can't touch them or one of your players. You can't touch anybody and use them as leverage. Maybe it's somewhere else in the rule book or something. I don't know. Yeah, we've stopped the tush push before, and I think it was with this same crew. Greg Gaines, Vita. I need to go back and look. I know for sure we did it twice, and I want to say we've done it 3 times, and I want to say that we've done it more than anybody in the league. All right, Lawrence. With a AA meeting on Monday or Tuesday. Yeah, we'll see you Monday, brother. Yeah. Hey, MH, what's up, man? Yeah, there's no way he could play more than a few snaps. And I'm very interested to see how many snaps Wirfs is going to get. I know Godwin's not going to get. I said less than 10, but it's definitely going to be less than 20. But Wirfs, that's going to be very interesting to me. I mean, how could he be in football shape? I don't know. Oh, I know. I got jokes, man. Every week Every week we've had issues with our special teams, whether it's McLaughlin missing punt or missing kicks, punts getting blocks, kicks getting blocked, bad tackling, bad blocking. I watch special teams. I like to watch special teams. I haven't seen one good one yet this year. Every single one of our special teams, I've just been like, oh gosh, we got guys getting blown up, we're missing tackles, guys are out of position. Like that blocked punt is really, it's kind of hard to understand in a professional sense that how do you do that? How do you let them overload one side and then not even block a guy, block the overload guy? I'm just like, and we had the blocker. He just chose to block somebody in the middle instead of go to the overloaded side, which is what he was supposed to do. I don't know, man. The special teams, that coach he's got to be worried, man. He's got to be, right? I don't think Todd Bowles got a problem firing somebody midseason. Craig, hey, that Desmond Watson does. It's almost like Shador Sanders and all those guys. You're like, why are we even talking about these guys? They're never going to make a team, and stuff. I don't know. It's just because he's a freak, I guess. Big dude. Everybody wants to see him get out there and do something. I don't know. Don't know. No, I'll have to show it to you later, Rampage. I got jokes. I zoomed in on that and I slowed it down and everything, did frame by frame and everything. And he did a really good job of not touching anybody until he was coming down, and then he hit the back of our guard with his foot. He really like had to put his arms in weird positions to make sure he didn't touch anybody. What really did it was his teammates grabbed the back of our offensive lineman and pushed him down so that he could jump over him. So our special teams are not so special, are they? They're short bush special. Yes. Oh man, I tell you what. Yeah, we've got some issues on our special teams, and I like Kokeef. I really do. It's kind of like Grant Stewart. I liked Grant Stewart. I really like their energy and their gumption and all that. But man, they make boneheaded plays and they get blowed up a lot. I mean, Grant Stewart got blew up a lot. Kokeef gets blowed up a lot. They're not the most talented, but they make up for it in ferocity. Is that a word? But Kokeef his special teams this year has not been that great. He's been getting put on his butt quite a bit. And Ryan Miller's not that good on special teams either. And John Bullock, those three seem to really be the problem, or a lot of the problem on special teams. Issues are in the medical staff. I went and I looked at all the players on injured reserve, and surprisingly, we are exactly at average. The average across the league is 7 players on injured reserve, which kind of shocked me. I was like, wow, that's a lot. And that's where we're at. And we might have 8 with Kokeef going on there. But we're like right around average. But I get so it's the same guys all the time too. Mike, Godwin, Luke Gedeke. Somebody had posted last year's injury report for the Eagles game, and it was like the same guys that are out now that were out for that game, except Winfield. Winfield was out for that game. I was like, wow. Cansey was out. Gedeke was out. Evans was out. No, wait. Was he out? Can't remember. Let me pull it up. We'll take a gander. Okay, Kalijah Cansey was out. Antoine Winfield was out. Jalen McMillan, Luke Gedeke, Kokeef was questionable. I don't know if he played or not. But look at this list. Look how how many injuries we had last year compared to them. But they had some of their big hitters without. AJ Brown didn't play. Devontae Smith didn't play. I want to say Darius Slay didn't play, but I can't remember. I know they had a lot of big names out when we played them. It's like we just put everybody on the injury report sometimes. We're just like, just put them all on there. Confuse our opponent. I I really like Parrish, and I want to see Morrison. Yes, he got quite a few snaps in this game. I would say 20, 22, if I recall correctly. So it'll be fun to watch him. We've definitely played a lot more man coverage. I mean, generally in the past, we're around 30% man coverage. This year, so far, I'd say we're at probably a little over 50%, which I love. I'm like, yes, yes, please, more. And like I said, Morrison is really, really, really good at man coverage. So I wonder how much of that adjustment is to get him in there. Don't know. Craig, with the special teams, yeah, I think it's the coaching for sure. Uh, like I said, I mean, there's definitely certain players that are not doing well, but with the coaching, you're not seeing any. Like for example, the Jets yesterday, they had or Sunday, they had a pre-planned play to block a punt or a kick. We don't have anything like that. Nothing ever. We just do the very basics. On kickoffs, kick returns, punts, field goals. It's the same crap. It's just as basic as could be, man. And I'm like, wow, we can't even get the basics right. Yeah, it's coaching. And Keith Tandy is he's a assistant special teams coach, if I recall correctly. Yeah, it did look like he pushed off Jokes. But if you look, he's got a white glove on, and so it kind of blends in. But he kind of holds it to his side. Let me pull it up. It'd be better. Let's look at it instead of trying to figure it out or trying to explain it. I don't know why I'm trying to explain it when we could have just sat here and looked at it. Okay. So, okay. We're going to zoom in on it. Yeah, see, it looks like he touches him right here. Ah, right here. It looks like he's putting his hand down, but he's not. It's really he's just got it limp. He's having to hold it very weirdly so that he doesn't touch anybody. Let's zoom in on this stinky dog. Yeah, this was a great play by the Jets. It really was. But you can see, okay, he's got a white glove on, so it kind of blends in with everything. But if you see right there, I mean, I don't know, he might have touched this guy right here. It's hard to tell. But it was a real brief. I mean, he doesn't use him for leverage. I mean, he couldn't. But then when he's coming down right here, I think he hits his leg and just kind of slides down outside of his thigh right there. And then he hits his foot right here. And everybody's saying that you can't touch the guys. You can't touch the lineman if you leap over. And I'm like, I don't see that in the rule book. I don't know. Maybe it's in there somewhere. Great play though. I mean, this guy puts all of his weight on him right there. And then he does the same thing with the long snapper. And then the guard does get up and walk over to the ref. See, he's saying something to the ref, and I can't make it out. He's not pointing at anything. So I can't tell if what he's saying to him. But the play's still going on. You know, stop complaining to the ref while the play's going on. That's all. That always aggravates me. I would guess, if I had to guess, he's upset because he thinks that this guy put his hand on his back, not realizing it was this guy. That's what I'm guessing. But I don't know. I could see a case either way. It just didn't. The refs didn't go our way on that one. Made it exciting. The Eagles not having film with the O-line set up well. Yeah. Nobody knows what our O-line is going to be like. Not even us. We were trying to figure it out earlier. And again, I would be surprised if Wirfs plays 100% of the snaps. It would just surprise me. I'd be really impressed. But you know, maybe he's working out, getting his cardio up. Don't know. He's a pro. He could do it, right? That's what some people are saying, LH. But when I read the rule book, it says it's just about leverage. Let me see. Let me pull up the rule book. Okay, here we go. Placing a hand or hands on a teammate or opponent to gain additional height. These are uh, prohibited acts. Okay. This will get you a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Okay. Placing a hand or hands on a teammate or opponent to gain additional height to one, block or attempt to block an opponent's kick or parent kick, or attempt to jump through a gap to block an opponent's kick or a parent kick. So you can placing a hand or hands on somebody to gain additional height. So can you use your legs? I mean, could you jump on somebody's back and jump up? I mean, according to this, you can. All right. Picking up a teammate to block or attempt to block an opponent's kick or a parent kick. Can't do that. Running forward and leaping across the line of scrimmage in an obvious attempt to block a field goal, unless the leaping player was in a stationary position, which this guy was, within 1 yard of the line of scrimmage, which he was. Okay. A player who is more than 1 yard behind the line of scrimmage before or at the snap may run forward and leap, provided he does not cross the line of scrimmage or land on players. Okay, maybe that's where we're getting some confusion. So if he would have lined up more than 1 yard behind the line of scrimmage, he was on the line of scrimmage. That's interesting, though, this whole thing. Placing a hand or hands on a teammate to gain additional height. You can't do that, but can you step on them? Can you use your legs? How about that? I don't see that in the rule book. So I don't see, and if somebody knows where it's at, if they do, let me know where it says you can't touch the offensive lineman. I know that, you got to be, you got to be standing outside these long snappers box, the width of his shoulder pads. You can't be lined up in front of him or anywhere near his body. You got to be outside of his shoulder pads, and they were. I thought it was a well executed play. I was mad that we didn't stop it, but you got to be impressed with the other team for doing it. We weren't prepared for it at all. That's what I'm saying. Our guys just don't seem to be. We just do the bare minimum. I don't even know if we practice special teams. Oh, who was it? Who was it that did that, Craig? Was it? Gosh, who was it? It was one of our linebackers. It wasn't Devin White, right? He jumped over and got called for leaping. And I think it was because gosh, I can't remember, but I remember, I was mad about it because I was like, that wasn't. Oh, I didn't know that. What's up, Hayden? I know, 3-0, brother. Well, I got jokes. The rule book just talks about the hands. It doesn't say anything about the arms. How about that? Huh. I did not know that. So I guess you could use your elbows to get leverage. or anything really, except for your hands, because that's the only thing it talks about in the rule book. You can't use your hands for leverage. Yeah, 3-0 cardiac games, man. This three at 3-0 probably took 10 years off of my life. Worth it. Worth it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and look at that, Craig. We'll pull that play up, and I got time to do it now. Oh my gosh, it's almost 8:30, guys. See, y'all get me on here yapping. I'll stay on here all night. I ate dinner before I came on, so and plus I drank all that coffee. I'm still drinking it. I probably need to stop or I won't go to sleep at night. Yeah, I got jokes. I think we need the NFL to clarify that play. They need to come out and say something, kind of explain it. Because there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding it. Yeah, it does look like his forearm did touch the guy, just kind of grazed him, or maybe even the back of his hand. But I don't think you could get leverage there. I mean, it seems pretty specific to me. It just says that you can't use your hands to get leverage, which is very interesting. I didn't catch that, just the hands part. I don't think you could step on guys anyhow. What if it's your player? Can you step on your own player? You were 15 last time they were 3-0. It was it was the Jets. They stopped our win streak. Ha! I didn't know that. Well, good for them. We showed them. It took us a long time, 15 years to get revenge. We did it. How many false starts will the Eagles get away with? That's a good one. Hey, at least it's not Kansas City. That how many offensive snaps they get is how many false starts they do. Only took 20 seasons. Oh, that's right. Yeah, 20 years. My gosh. My math. I still think it's 2020. I'm frozen in 2020. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I got up to the first quarter, got through the first quarter. I'm behind on all. I haven't finished a game film yet this year. I've still got to finish the Falcons game. I think I've only got a couple series left with that. Uh, I got to finish the Texans game. I did all of the offense, and then I got the defense up to the halftime, and then I got to finish this one. I got 3 quarters I got to finish with this one. Been swamped with this baby and stuff, man. Was that 2005, Hayden? Let me look. Let me pull up the stats. What's going on in the NFL? Anything interesting? Do y'all think that Raheem Morris is on the hot seat? Dave Canales is definitely on the hot seat. I think winning against Atlanta saved him for a few more weeks. My prediction still stands that he's going to be fired by the end of the year. What I predicted that 2 years ago, last year. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4-0, right? We were 4-0 in 2005. Played the Jets, lost to them 14-12, 12-14. 2005. That was a Chucky. Boy, John Gruden. We went 11-5 that year. Fan base can't stand him, MH. The fan base is absolutely livid with Raheem Morris since like week one when we played them. That's when it dawned on me. I went and I looked at what they were all saying, and they just can't stand him, which surprises me. I was like, oh, I liked him as he was fun. His his presses were always entertaining, and that first year with him was great. First 2 years with it, right? Did we have this conversation before? I thought he was only in for 2 years. Turns out he was in for three. Yeah. Yeah. 2009, 2010, 2011. Yeah. 2009 was interesting. We went 3-13, but then 2010 was great. Went 10-6, almost made the playoffs. Should have. That was when Josh Freeman came in and just lightened it up. And then there was 2011. Man, oh man, oh man. I have never seen a team implode like that. Worst season of football I have ever seen a team play. That's just any team. Any team. 2011, we had guys just quit. It was like the whole team quit. There was a handful of guys that were still playing hard, but most of them just quit. Wouldn't tackle, wouldn't block. Oh, that was a horrible year. That was a hard year watching that. I mean, we were good up until when we went to uh, Europe to play the Bears, the Bears, and we got blowed out there. Apparently, something happened on the plane ride there or back. I think it was plane ride there, and then team just revolted. Hmm. Ugh, I don't even like thinking about it. that was a rough year. Younger. Well, that was when there was no like minimum salary cap. We were in like a blank space with the NFLPA, and you could spend. See, like right now, there's a minimum that you have to spend on salary cap. There's a maximum, of course, we all know about that, but there's also a minimum. They didn't have that year, and that was the same year, if I recall correctly, that the Glazers were secretly buying the Manchester United. So they were spending all their money there, and they didn't spend anything on the football team. I mean, it was like players were eating on paper plates and stuff. Yeah. We had little old ladies knitting together uniforms in the back room and stuff. Uh, so I think they did really good with what they were given. And we had a really talented roster, which of course they all went somewhere else and won the Super Bowl. Well, won a Super Bowl. LeGarrette Blount, um, Michael Bennett. Let me see. Man, we had some good teams. Cadillac Williams, Donald Penn. He didn't win a Super Bowl. Jeremy Zuda, Davin Joseph, Jeremy Trueblood, Jeff Fain. That was a good offensive line. Um, Akib Talib. He ended up going and winning Super Bowls. Tanar Jackson. He was really good. Just couldn't stay off the the Ritalin or Adderall or whatever he was on. Goodness. Barrett Rude and Quincy Black. That was Molly's first jersey. She still got it. It was a Barrett Rude jersey. I give her a hard time about it. Yeah, it's pink. Yes, Godwin's ready, but I don't think he's going to play too many snaps. My original estimate was less than 10, but I'm going to bump it up, say less than 20. He's definitely going to be on a limited snap count. I would imagine. I would imagine. What's up, Adam? Craig, you out? Oh, that 1 at 15 season on Lovie Smith, man, that was, oof. That was a tough decade. Hey, that was tough. You know, going from Morris to Shiano to Lovie Smith. The Dirk Cutter wasn't too bad. There was, you know, you at least kind of felt like we were a professional football team at that point. But yeah, man, Lovie Smith was so. And I said this on the podcast too when we hired him. I was like, I am not a big fan of hiring coaches that you have fired or players. I don't like to bring back players. Well, you know, when you cut players, let them go. Don't bring them back. You know, it's just no matter how they think they feel, there's always that underlying current of resentment. And I really do feel like Lovey, gosh, and he really messed up the Texans too when he went there. I think he was like angry at the NFL or football or something. But yeah, that was bad football with Lovey. Oof. Yeesh. You know, and Dirk Cutter, the first year was kind of tough to swallow because he had his buddy as defensive coordinator, Arthur Smith. That was tough. But yeah, Lovey, gosh, he was so bad. Who was it? Oh, when we got Jameis Winston and we opened against Tennessee, it was Jameis and Mariota, and we just got blowed out. And then there was another, gosh, all right, now I got to look. There was another opener. I want to say it was against Chicago, his old team, that they just blew us out. It was like we were never prepared. Oh, those Lovey years were so bad. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, he only got 2 years. Shiano only got 2 years. Lovie Smith only got 2 years. All right, we lost the Panthers. Gosh, we lost. Yeah, his first year we only went 2-14 first year. 6-10 the second year. Tennessee Titans, yeah, the Tennessee Titans. They beat us 42-14 on opening day. Ah, man, that was rough. I know it was that Chicago game too. I guess that wasn't on opening day. 21-13, his first year. That was the game. That was the worst the worst performance of any player I've ever seen was gosh, what was his name? Defensive back. I don't know if he was drunk or whatever, but it was so bad. He was out of position every play and just running around like a chicken with his head cut off. Okay, that was November 23, 2014. But yeah, to this day, that was the worst performance I've ever seen. Okay. Who was it? If Molly was here, she could tell you. Because I do this all the time. I'm like, I can't remember that guy's name. What was it? I'm not seeing it. Oh my gosh. Remember, and Lovey, you got those guys from Cincinnati, Michael Johnson, the defensive end, and the left tackle, Anthony Collins. Oh my gosh, they were so bad. So bad. Who was that guy? Maybe it was a different year. Hmm. It wasn't Leonard Johnson, was it? Was it Jonathan Banks? No. No, I have to ask Molly. You didn't like the Cotter years? I did. I really enjoyed watching Cutter's offense. He on game film. He really did. Jameis Winston just couldn't read the field well. Cutter was really good at scheming guys open. Really good at it. And it was, if you go back and look at the Tiffies, the all 22 reviews I would do during his years, I would just sit there with my head in my hands. I mean, at least 5 to 7 times a game, there'd be a wide open guy down the field, and James Winston would never see him. It was so aggravating. Uh, no, it wasn't Mark Barron. Uh, it's going to drive me crazy. I'm going to have to bring that game film back up because, like I said, it's the worst performance I've ever seen. The best performance I ever saw was a school against Nick Bosa. Is that 2 years ago? That's the best individual performance I've ever seen. He had 5 pancakes on Nick Bosa. It was amazing. Everybody thought he was just going to get dominated by Bosa. He dominated Bosa. And then after the game, everybody was like, well, Bosa he was sick. I was like, I don't care. I don't care what the excuse was. That was a dominating performance. All right, this is driving me crazy. It wasn't Werner. Altron Werner. It wasn't Jonathan Banks. Mike Jenkins. Hmm. I don't know. It would be Leonard Johnson. Can't remember. It was bad, though. It was really bad. Dude was totally lost every play. He was running from one side of the field to the other during the play, just running diagonally across the field in the middle of the play. Like he was trying to cover somebody on the other side of the field. He would just start on. It was weird. It was wild. Albert Haynes, Jonathan Banks was definitely wasted talent. Yes. He reminds me a lot of Jamel Dean. Same body style and everything. Could have been Haynes. Could have been Haynes. I'm going to have to ask Molly. She always. Oh, are we going head to head? Dude, I'm doing horrible. I've had all my players are injured. Joe Burrow got injured. James Conner got injured. CeeDee Lamb is injured. I'm 0-3, man. Yeah, I'm skipping dinner. Actually, I ate before I got on. Are the Panthers the biggest worry in the division right now? I mean, probably, yeah, but that's not saying a whole lot. I'm absolutely not worried about the Panthers at all. I mean, of course, we could always lose to them, but woof, that's bad football watching them. That Atlanta Panthers game was so funny. I was watching it while I had the Buccaneers game on. That's normally what I'll do is I'll have our division games on along with the Buccaneers games. And I was like literally just laughing watching that game. I was like, is this really, am I seeing, are these two professional teams? They were just bad. Bad. I don't know what's going on with Atlanta. I told you how that stat with Penix, he's 0-6 or 0-8. What is it? Let me bring it back up. Um, 0-6 when his opponents have scored 8 or more points. He's never won a game against somebody that scored a touchdown. It's like, wow. I thought he was doing okay. That's a crazy stat. I mean, it's not, it's not all Penix, but still. You're like, man, you can't win a game if the other team scores. That's tough to swallow right there. I thought the Atlanta fans liked Penix. They're not sold on him. Yeah. Use Godwin as a decoy. Yeah. I I don't I don't have high hopes for either one, him or Wirfs this week. And just let him get, just let him get out there and get used to it a little bit. Snoop was living when the Bucs beat the Steelers. Yeah. Little Snoop diggity dog. EJ Biggers. I liked him. It was not Biggers. We're gonna have to ask Molly. She'll say it right away. Oh, that Atlanta primetime game. That was horrible. It might have been Haynes. Speak softly, carry a big stick. Who was it that had that? Remember, he had the podcast, and then he ended up getting busted for soliciting a minor. He used to have that because Cutter said it, and he started doing it on his show. He had like a whole catchphrase with it. That was sad. I was sad about it. Yeah, I heard it's been hot in Tampa quite a bit. No, it was not Chris Conte. It was not EJ Biggers or Savvy. Savvy Piscatelli. Yeah, I didn't mean to stay on this late, honestly. I got all jacked up on this coffee. Molly's at a book club. She took the baby. My oldest daughter sitting downstairs. So, and I ate dinner before I got on. So I can sit here and do this all night. But it definitely wasn't Chris Conte. I met Chris Conte. I didn't know who he was. I was so embarrassed afterwards. Uh, and you can ask Molly. I was kind of like starstruck with him, and this is no homo. Not because I knew who he was, but because man, he was good looking. I mean, just like chiseled. I was like, who is this dude? I was all like sticking my chest out and everything. Like, am I going to have to fight you to keep my woman? Yeah, Chris Conte was a good looking dude. He had like these piercing blue eyes. He was all like tatted up and stuff. Really nice guy though. It's such a shame he got face masked into the dirt, stiff armed, ended his career basically. 14-13 Bucs. Ooh, defensive game. And close. Yeah, that's the good thing. It's going to be at Tampa. And that heat is going to mess with them. You know, they're going to be wearing them dark jerseys. It's a 1 o'clock game. It's going to be 100, probably 110 with the humidity and the, what they call it, heat index. That stuff's real. Uh, you know, because a lot of times you go outside and you'll be like, oh my gosh, it feels a lot hotter than it, 80. I think it was like 86 today here, 87. And I was outside and I was like, man, it's a lot hotter than 87. It feels that way. Came inside, looked up the heat index. Yeah, it was 96. I was like, yeah, it feels 96 out there. For the number 23, Adam going 31-17. I like it. I am so glad y'all have confidence with it. I'm hoping I'm totally wrong with this, of course. And I hate to pick against the Bucs, but let's see. It's me and Rampage are the only ones that have picked the Eagles. Wow. Rampage has been so negative this year. I think we should get him a gift. Send him like a flower bouquet or something. He likes pirate themed things. He sent me some pictures of his man cave. Looks cool. Got a lot of pirate stuff. Philly's got cold fronts already. Oh yeah, they're gonna get down to that heat and melt. What's up, Bucks? Yeah, 4-1 in the last 5 meetings. Yeah, and last year we blew them up, but last year they didn't have a lot of their players, especially their wide receivers. Uh, it felt good though when they won the Super Bowl. I'm always like that. I'm always, I'm always like, I always root for NFC teams because we're in the NFC. It's kind of like, and I'm different like this, but like division, like no, I don't root for the division. I was trying to think back. I was like, was there some time like I rooted against the Panthers when they went to the Super Bowl, and I rooted against the Falcons when they went to the Super Bowl. Definitely rooted against the Saints. It's like, yeah, no. But it feels good when you can strut around and go, yeah, we beat the Super Bowl champions. Yeah. We did too. We stomped them. It feels good. I hate the Eagles. It's not the Eagles organization so much as their fans. Just don't like their fans. Bucks 24-17. Gotcha, brother. Bucks number 1. Man, I'm loving y'all's confidence. Yeah, feeling much better. Uh, just so much going on, man. So much stress. And with the new baby coming and stuff. It's always this way. The last month is always just There's so much that's got to be done. Yeah. And I was telling everybody last night, we're having a home birth here, so the doctors and staff were coming here to check things out, see where we're going to do everything. You know, it's going to be like they got to bring all this equipment, this tub and all this stuff, because Molly wants to have a water birth. Anyhow, they were supposed to be here at 4. Didn't get here until 5:45. And then we're here for like 2 hours. I was so, yeah, I was pissed. But it's just stuff like that nonstop. And they, of course, give us a list of things we got to do. And I've got a list of stuff to do already. It's already here on my wall. You know, it's just nonstop trying to get prepared and ready. Because like for the first 2 months, you can't do nothing but take care of that baby. You know, and the wife's she's going to be all invalid, basically, laid in bed. So I have to do everything. I got to keep the other kids alive too. So just trying to get all that. You know, we're like trying to meal prep and all that good stuff. And it's stressful. Don't get enough sleep. Sometimes you catch a bug or something real easy. What's up, Corey? Thanks for asking, though. Appreciate that, Bucs. Baker Mayfield. No, I didn't see that. Yeah, everybody's up on Baker Mayfield. I'm definitely up on him. When we got him, I was kind of like, we'll see. But man, I'm a big Baker Mayfield fan now. And what did it for me was Gus Swayze. When he did that Gus Swayze video, I laughed. I probably watched that 20 times. It's just funny to me. He just seems like a really cool dude. Funny, got a great sense of humor. Gus Swayze. And then he's been killing it. I mean, he's the reason why we've won, 3-0. I mean, every week he's had to play superhero ball. And he's pulled it out every time. Although I tell you what, man, I want to win where I don't feel like I'm having a heart attack. Be nice. We thought we had one Sunday. It started off great. I mean, for the first, all the way up until the fourth quarter, it was relaxing. It's like, we got this. And then, man, like they pulled out what's that, the shocker machine where you getting hit with a taser out of nowhere. It might have been Werner. I'm looking at the names and none of them are like ringing a bell with me, but Molly will know it right away because this happens all the time. I'll talk about that and I'll be like, was it Jonathan Banks? And she's like, no, it was so-and-so. And she'll spit the name out right away. I mean, I've gone through the whole roster and nobody's ringing a bell. I think we played them in 2015 too, so it might have been 2015. DJ Swearinger, I remember him. He was good. I liked him. Keith Tandy, I loved Keith Tandy. I don't think it was Jonathan Banks. It might have been Mike Jenkins. See, that's what I'm saying. And none of these are ringing a bell. I've got to bring that video up and just show it to people because it really is where you're just like, what in the world is he doing out there? Yeah, if we upset the Eagles, we're going to be a national conversation about being, the contender right now. Mike Allstott, that was the first Buccaneers jersey I bought, was Mike Allstott. 19. 98. I think I bought it. This was back before the internet, and uh, where I lived, all they sell is the Redskins crap, or where I lived at the time. And I just happened to stumble upon a Mike Allstott jersey, and it was like an extra large. I bought it anyhow. I wore that thing proud. It was like being in a sleeping bag. I was walking. I was very proud of that jersey. I wore it all the time. I still got it, of course. Oh man, the makeshift O line. Yeah, Baker was on the injury report. Is it his hand? I didn't know one had come out. Here it is. Easy and not practicing again. What's up with him? Quadricep. Logan Hall. Goodness. Levante David with a knee. Charlie Heck with a knee. Baker Mayfield. I was looking at the injury reports across the league. I was telling y'all I was looking at all the players on injured reserve, and we are right at average. The average is 6. It's like 6.8 players per team on injured reserve, and we're at 7, might be 8 right now. But that really surprised me. I was like, man, it just seems like we got injuries all over the place. Baker Mayfield, right bicep? Where's that coming from? That's his throwing arm. I thought he hurt his hand. Oh, no, it wasn't Danny Lanzana. I loved Danny Lanzana. Danny Lanzana was a playmaker. He's one of those that I felt like never got the reps, man. I really wanted to see him play more. That's probably what he was doing, right? Jokes. It wasn't his hand, it was his bicep, and he was shaking it. I thought he was shaking his hand. I guess that's better to have a sore bicep than a sore hand if you're throwing the football. Don't know. When did this come out? I have a time on here. Oh, yes, I do. 6 p.m. Okay, so right before I came online. Tristan Wirfs practiced in a limited fashion. How in the world is he going to play a full game? Oof. I wonder if we'll play him on a series and just ask him how he's doing after, and if he's not, uh, not got the stamina or whatever, we'll just switch the lines up. I would be surprised if he came in and played 100%, but he's a professional. He could do it. Godwin, I'm pretty sure, is not going to play more than 20 snaps. Godwin was a full practice today. I would not be surprised if Godwin comes out and has kind of a lackluster year. I'm surprised that he's even able to come back. I'm going to be honest with you. When he had that injury, I thought it was y'all were here. I thought that was the end of his career. And like, remember when he came back from his knee injury? The next year when he came back, he was just kind of average, pedestrian almost. And then the year after, he was killing it. Yeah, I think in week 2 he had like a leg injury or something. Oh, Brent Grimes. Yeah, him and his wife. His wife. Uh, gosh, what was her name? She had like a podcast and Instagram. She was always like calling out Buccaneers front office crap and stuff. Ugh. That might have been when it happened, Corey. When was that? Let's see if we can look that up on Game. Good grief, it's 9 o'clock. Let me look it up. We'll look at it on the All 22. Was that an incomplete pass or was it a fumble? Does anybody remember when it happened? Hmm. Okay. Second quarter, 4:55 in the second quarter. Let me see if I can find it. This was, we had the ball on the Tampa 31. Boo, 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 boo. Here we go. I think this is it. I do believe that this is it. Nope, that is not it. This is like work trying to find this. Hmm. Field punt. Okay, so it was before this. Man, that's crazy. This is a weird quarter. No, he fumbles here, but this wasn't the play, right? 7:50 in the second quarter. Yeah, this one he does fumble it here, so it's not this play. He just try. What is he doing? It looks like he's bowling. He just rolls it out. Okay. 7:50 in the second quarter, approximately. So they were at the New York Jets, 46. So right here. Let's see if this is it. Yep, that's it. Good job. Who called that? Corey? Good job. Oh, who's that blocking? Is that, yeah, Bucky? Yeah, he does get hit right, all that weight right there, right on his bicep. Good call. Who brought that up? Yeah, I bet you're right, Corey. Can't tell if he's only got one hand or two hands on there, but he definitely lands right on that bicep. Right there. Okay, yeah, it's just the one hand, but he comes right down on it. And then hangs. He's pulling on it, yeah. Yeah, good call. I bet that was when it happened. And that happened midway through the second quarter, so he played the rest of the game hurt. Interesting. All right, I got to get off here. It is 9:15. It's like a 2.5 hour long live stream. People complain that they can't watch that long when I do like an hour one. They're going to look at this one and be like, yeah, I'm not even going to start watching this one. They're going to miss out on all the good stuff though, right? Yeah, so I think that was, I think you're right. I think that's when he got hurt. All right, guys. I appreciate y'all hanging out, man. I'm going to try to get on tomorrow and we'll do some more game film. I'll probably go through it and see if I can find some interesting stuff to look at tomorrow instead of just, where we all look at it together, because there's a lot of stuff that's, kind of boring to watch. But I'll try to get on tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Thursday. We got a game tomorrow night. I've got a meeting at 4:30. So yeah, I'll try to get on. And hopefully nothing dramatic will happen with the team from now until then. You too, MH. Corey, I'm glad glad you had a good time. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Jokes, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. And like I said, tomorrow we'll try to watch some more game film and possibly talk about the upcoming games. Who, maybe get some game film on that one. I don't know. We'll see. But until next time, go Bucs.